Okay, it should be working out. Damn it. Okay, welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also the Brink, and we are one community. Today, we're going to be talking about tariffs, Trumps, and technology, and how much you're going to be paying, why you shouldn't, what I've been doing for the past few weeks. Yeah, we're going to have a fun time. And I got the audio working, I believe. Let me know, guys, if it's like sounding good. Welcome, Wolf, the Catsmith for you. How are you guys doing? You guys doing okay? So, let's see here. You're going to be in and out of chat. Sounds good, Wolf. Glad to see you. Sorry I have not popped up in a little bit on Discord and the channel and everything. There's nothing like major to discuss, but there's stuff to discuss. Good stuff too. While we wait for more people to trickle on in, let me go ahead and share my screen. If you guys have any news, of course, let me know. Let's see here. Display capture. Okay. Okay, guys. Just gonna go ahead and do that. And that looks decent enough. Okay. So, Catsmith is playing Minecraft right now. Did you watch the movie? What did you guys think of the movie? We could also talk about the movie here in a second, too. Let's see here. Just if I move my my stuff around, can you see that just fine? Here's another thing. So, guys. Yeah, you can. I just want to make sure. I may have bought a new Mac Studio. Partially because the Trump tariffs are coming up, and also because I needed one. I've been using a MacBook that I shouldn't have been using, kind of workish. Not going to go much further than that. Look, I wasn't really using it for any major projects or anything, luckily, but I was getting really tired of my Windows machine having issues in and out. And it wasn't like, it was Windows issues with the machine itself, meaning I don't think the hardware was failing. It runs fine with like a Linux distro, depending on what type of game I'm playing, of course. But if I don't play a game, it runs fine. But Windows wasn't running okay, and I needed to do game development, and it's a little easier on Windows than it was on Linux. Now, this isn't going to, like, I'm moving to a Mac Studio does not mean I'm going to be foregoing Linux. I plan on doing as much of my gaming as I can on a Linux distro, especially once it works better with my NVIDIA chip. In the meantime, I'm going to just use something like Moonlight to stream my games to my TV and to here. And then I can do game development from here because I got a pretty beefy Mac Studio. It's able to handle all this, including streaming. Like I'm streaming right now, I'm doing all this stuff, and I can't even hear the fan. I went all in because I needed something that would work for everything. So, yeah. Catsmith for you. Let's see here. Let's see. Where did did I lose? Oh, can I not minimize this? I can minimize this, right? Net travels. Okay, cool. So I'm not going to spoil anything, Catsmith, for you. But I will have to say, I can't say from an adult how much I liked it because, I mean, if I would have watched on my own, I think I would have judged it a little differently. But watching it with my kids and how much they love Minecraft, I guess I could judge it without them. I enjoyed myself. I expected it to be worse than it was. I thought it was a fun ride. Thought it was a little cliche on how it started, but I'm not going to ruin it. So, yes. If you're a big Minecraft fan and you like seeing, and you've seen the trailer and you're okay enough to watch it from the trailer, because I know a lot of people don't like the creepers and stuff like that, and the art style for Minecraft itself, then you're not going to like the movie. But if you're able to put up with that, Jack Black is actually pretty good in it. And everyone else actually ended up being pretty good. It was a little cheesy, go in with an audience that was for, everyone. And they definitely hit the younger audience humor a little bit more. But there was a couple of jokes in there. Okay. The Icarus, welcome. Cascoder, welcome. How you guys doing? You guys doing good? Let's see here. Oh, yeah, don't. That's kind of funny that I was doing that. Let's see if I can get the. It goes away. I don't have it set up to where I can read your guys's. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. Nope. It does not want to work with me. Just give me a second. Let's see if we can get this. Okay. Yeah, how have you guys been doing? How do you guys like my thumbnail? I just wanted some fun. I would have, honestly, if Biden was doing the same thing, I would have done Biden doing the finger to the prices going up. Dickorous, Angry Joe hated the Minecraft movie. Here's my problem with Angry Joe, Dickorous. This is kind of a funny little thing, is that Angry Joe does his best content when he is angry. So when you go into something with the mindset that you need to tear it down for content, don't get me wrong, if I really don't like something, I enjoy his content, but I will have to admit I'm not a fan of him having to he attacks things that I think are fine. Like the Minecraft movie, I thought was fine. I don't know, unless they would have done a full cartoonized version of the Minecraft movie, I don't know how they would have been able to do the movie any better. Maybe a little bit less cheesy jokes, but once again, the movie wasn't really made for Angry Joe and me. It was made for more of a target of kids and anyone that enjoys Minecraft. Cat Smith for you. Okay, I don't know exactly what to expect for it currently. Okay, I will try not to add much more. Wolf, yeah, I haven't been watching Angry Joe as much either, even though I have liked his stuff in the past. Cascoder, did your theater audience get disorderly at the chicken jockey scene? It's been problematic trend to have teens throwing popcorn and soda when it plays. No, Cascoder. I don't think anyone was disorderly, but they were definitely a little rambunctious next to me, and I was sitting next to probably late teens, early 20-year-olds. So yeah. And Casmith, for you, you've seen the trailer. Okay, good. Because that's what you can kind of expect, but I thought it was better than what the trailer was. BT Maverick, welcome. How you doing, man? Okay, so we'll keep on chatting. And while we chat, we're going to go over some news, and then we're going to talk about tariffs. And we'll talk about tariffs along the way, of course. But the reason I bring this up, and if you've been hiding under a rock, tariffs are... Yeah, tariffs have been a nasty little thing, and we have not seen the effect of them quite yet. And it is potentially worse than I thought it was going to be in November. So it's pretty bad, guys. I don't think prices have been gone into effect yet fully, but and I think people are, especially companies, are waiting for Trump to just, because he keeps going tariff, not tariff. So We'll get into a little bit of that too in a second. Okay, BT Maverick, remember when I said Xbox was looking to put the PC launcher on the next Xbox? Yes, BT Maverick, you were right. I think you're it's still rumored, and that was a leaked screenshot that we talked about, I think, a few weeks ago. And sorry, I haven't been on in a few weeks. I took a vacation last week. I should have announced it. I was just all over the place, and then. We'll see if I end up doing one next week. I'll try to do like a pre-record because I will be out of town next week on a business trip. Okay. Andre, if I haven't said it yet, welcome, welcome, welcome. Gas Smith, for you, I am making an educated guess on how many hours. How many hours? Gas Smith, for you, I'm decent today. Just continuing to mine out a large area. I've already spent about 27 hours mining it out by hand. Damn, you were committed. I don't know if I've done 27 hours, but I've done some pretty long mining sessions. Uh, BT Maverick, yeah, shit's on fire. It's in stocks. Yeah, it, yeah. Here's the thing: if I was a betting man, I'd actually buy the dip, but I don't think the dip's happened yet. Because if the tariffs are still in play for much longer, and if it really hits us, because I don't think the effects have quite hit us yet, we're effed. I know I said I wasn't going to get into tariffs quite yet, but there is someone that does special needs toys for like kids with special needs in Idaho. And I think he spends it typically $10,000 or something like that on a shipment. And he had already had it ordered, but the tariffs upped his cost to $100,000. And he says he's going to, if it does end up being that and he has to pay that, he will have to let go of half his people. So weirdly enough, people don't understand that tariffs are probably going to hurt me, you, lower class, middle class business owners the most. Like it could devastate some people, especially people that rely on trade from other countries. Okay, so this is a fun one, and I believe who was it? Who was it that brought this? I don't know if they threw in this news article per se, but they brought up early Steam Deck prototype seemingly sold on eBay for $2,000. It's unclear how the seller acquired the device or if Valve is aware of it being sold. I can say one thing. I highly doubt Valve knows that this is being sold. It is what a bonkers news item. What's crazy too is like $2,000 seems very low for this type of device where it's a once in a lifetime, right? Icarus, thank you. Yes, Icarus, you brought it up. Thank you so much. Oh, the longest mining session was 12 hours. Damn, nice, Casma through you. Okay, so yeah, early Steam Deck prototype. This thing, to be fair, it doesn't look too bad. It's got the radial instead of the rounded kind of square trackpads. It has got the radial, like it's a circle, which is this is the original Steam Deck. Like essentially what they did in this one is it looks like they took a Steam controller, the OG Steam controller, and slapped the inputs into a casing that they probably had manufactured on site or through a system. It doesn't look much further off from what we got, but it's definitely rough. It would be cool to get one of these to showcase, and they made, I believe, hundreds, if not, tens to hundreds of prototypes for the Steam Deck. And it's crazy that one of them got out and was sold. And once again, so let's see, here's something odd. Over on eBay, someone seems to have spent $2,000 on a Steam Deck prototype, which was being sold on the auction site for $3,000. So that's another weird one. This is weird, but it definitely, because the way the pictures are done, I don't think we've ever seen anything quite like this unless they got a hold of pictures that we haven't seen before. These pictures are new and not floating around the internet, so it's not like they faked it. What a crazy catch that someone got, but 2,000 definitely seems on the low side for a prototype like this that most likely won't be out in it. I bet you Valve will eventually donate the prototypes and the Steam Deck stuff to like a museum or something like that. I don't see, Valve doesn't need the money. I don't see them just selling off stuff. I see them preserving it, but hopefully this kind of drives them to preserve this type of stuff more than auctioning it off. I honestly don't like when they auction stuff like off like this where it needs to be in a museum. I might as well be Indiana Jones over here. The Icarus, I found the article on ROG Discord and shared on your Discord. Nice. Thank you, man. Casmith, for you, I did not intend on spending 12 hours straight playing Minecraft that day. That was me with Civ 5. I think it was Civ 5 where I was not planning on playing it how long I did, and I did, unfortunately. Okay, so yeah, that's this little device. This look fun, a fun little thing. Andre, maybe a prototype that was sent to an outside tester. I was actually thinking that too, that it could have been maybe they made a couple of these prototypes. I do think they did make a couple of prototypes that they then went and took home and played with. So maybe there was a disgruntled employee that got let go or something like that, and they sold it. Or maybe they were hoping that it wouldn't come back to them and someone sold it to try to pick up some extra money in this tariffed world of ours. Okay, so let's go to Switch news, which if you listen to Off the Console, you're gonna know this a little bit already. But oh, oh, tariffs and the Switch 2. Let's see here. I want a good. Okay. Switch 2 price remains in limbo as new tariffs reduced and paused with one major exception. Tariffs are being lowered with a 90-day pause that takes us beyond the Switch 2 launch date. So that will be interesting. In the wake of crumbling global market, U.S. Presidential Donald Trump announced today that he's scaling back his original tariff plan. I don't know what he's doing, but it is so crazy to like threaten tariffs and then not and then double down on China. But yeah, lowering tariffs significantly basically everywhere except China. It remains to be seen. And this is an article from today, but I think that this is even old because I believe it. Yeah, but China is facing an increased 125 tariff rate, and it's a reciprocal or retaliatory tariff. That is, meaning he saw, or China doubled down and said, yeah, you want a tariff war? We're going to do a trade war. So, which is great, but not great. If you want cheap stuff, I don't necessarily want cheap stuff, and I actually don't mind. I actually would like to see manufacturing split across more countries and not so dependent on China, but that takes time. You can't do that instantly. If you do it instantly, that's where you get huge price hikes that really affect things. And you usually do it through incentives. What you do is, hey, we're going to give you, and you can even do a little bit of a tariff over here and then do a little bit of a, hey, with that tariff, we're going to pay for a facility over here. You could do stuff like that. But this is not how you're supposed to do it. But yeah, Switch 2, if you didn't know, the pre-orders have been delayed. They were supposed to go out today, weren't they? Cascoder could probably also fill us in better on this too. But I think pre-orders were supposed to start today, right? And then they ship July 8th. And they put a pause on it because of the tariffs, and they wanted to refigure out the price because if there was going to be tariffs, they're going to have to do it. Now, that being said, I do think the tariffs will still affect because I think some of the part, like, here's the thing: a lot of stuff we build today, even car parts and all that, do get built in other parts of the country. That's how a globalized economy works. You're able to specialize and do better when you have countries do specialties. Now, part of that was done more to have cheaper labor, which is not necessarily a good thing, but that's kind of how it is. Like, global trade is good, but we've taken advantage of the less fortunate and third world countries a little too much. So yeah. June 5th is the launch for the Switch 2. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I said July 8th. I knew it was in June. I don't know why I said July. God damn. Yeah, I apologize. So the report said 50% of the Switch 2 production has come out of Vietnam and Cambodia, which, if that's the case, it sounds like if they're only tariffing China, then it might not affect us as much. The tariff rate for these countries as of last week was 46 and 49 respectively, but now it's 10%. Effective immediately, I believe is what he meant to say here. Funny enough, that's how Trump works. It's really bizarre. He's like, I declare tariffs down. And it's like, okay. In theory, this would seemingly help Nintendo keep the Switch price at 450 or close to it, but no one knows for sure, and Nintendo is yet to comment. And this is what worries me. Nintendo yet to comment is got me very concerned that they're just going to be like, we're going to play it safe. We're going to charge more for a Switch 2 and see what happens. Like they're already charging a lot more for the games than they should be, I think. Okay. Cascoder Canada had their Switch 2 pre-orders delayed due to US as well for some reason. That's probably due to it could be that maybe the shipments go into the US and then cross the border at a duty free, tax free or whatever. Like we in the past have had really good uh, uh, really good agreements and allegiances with companies or countries, that is, and with countries, to do really good trade deals. And this is kind of just effed it all up. Okay. Let's see here. So there's that one. Let's see if I do we have you guys, let's see, Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order. Did I? Okay, I put it in. Let's see here. Is there even a website, Cascoder, that we could go to? Where to pre-order? Nintendo's latest console arrives June 5th and will be available to pre-order at most major retailers. We just don't know when. Yeah, they'll be like, I was hoping that they'd have a website where you could actually go to and see like a countdown or something like, hey, soon. Let's see. Let me know if you guys can hear anything, because I can't hear anything and I have my headphones in. Okay, just in case. Register your interest to buy from. Okay, I did register my interest already. Sign in with your Nintendo account and register your interest in purchasing the Nintendo Switch 2 and select accessories from the official. Okay, I did the Mario Kart bundle. When will I be notified about my invitation to purchase a Nintendo Switch 2? The first batch of invitations will go out starting May 8th. Oh, so that's in a month from now. Is that still, wait, to purchase? So is that include the pre-orders? Are we already technically pre-ordered? Thickers, Nintendo of America is in the States, and they handle the distribution to Canada. So Canada's stock goes through the US. That makes sense, Thickers. Thank you. That is very informative, Chris. And kind of what I would figured. There's a lot of ports in the US and some in Canada, and we have like I mentioned, we have, because we're so close to Canada, we have a really good trade deal in the past, and now they're just effed up. It's not just effed up. That's what it says here. The first batch of invitations will go out starting May 8th, 2025, with additional batches of invitation emails sent periodically until purchasing on my Nintendo store is open to everyone. It sounds like they're going the route of the Steam Deck, which is actually not a bad route to go, and how they're doing all this, I actually do agree that at least it's a step forward. I don't know how you guys think, but yeah. There is a Nintendo of Canada. Yes, there might be a Nintendo of Canada, BT Maverick, but that doesn't mean that the shipment, like a Nintendo of Canada, could incorporate studios that are in Canada. It can incorporate a lot of different things. It doesn't mean that the supply or like hardware devices are the same thing. So, okay, the May 8th thing has been there since last week. It's what I kind of thought. It's been there for a while, but we'll see. Like, Nintendo still hasn't responded to all the stuff. They said they're going to put it on hold. This is the purchase, not to even pre-order. So I would still take this with a grain of salt, but also expect May 8th, I guess. I wonder if May 8th will be the new North American pre-order date. Probably, but probably, but I would not put, like, I would not say that this is a solid date. So, Um, so let's do a little bit of a tour. Let me just set up, get a little bit of a drink, wet my palate, or whatever. Okay. All right. So I got a new Mac Studio. I know I mentioned this. It's more or less. I was super afraid that the cost was going to go up and stay up for a while. And so the reason what I'm doing right now is I want, like, you can see this right here, like $2,000 for a Mac Studio base. I got a higher one because I wanted a lot more RAM. It's gonna be very nice. I'm able to stream and do all this stuff right now while I have my game open for editing and stuff like that. So you can already see, I'm just using Apple as an example because they do source a lot of stuff from China and a couple other countries. They have not done any preemptive pricing changes. These are all the similar changes. We could go to Amazon and probably see something similar to where I don't have a, let's see. Let's see if there's like a price changing watch or something. Here's what could soon cost you a lot more. This will be could be a little interesting. The United States imported 439 billion worth of goods from China last year, the second top source of imports behind Mexico. We import a lot of food, and there's a lot of exemptions through Mexico. But yeah. So laptops and tablets. China, Vietnam, and Taiwan were the top 3 foreign suppliers of laptops and tablets to the U.S. last year, shipping a total of 47 billion worth, according to federal trade data. Hey, it's Susie. Hold on one second, guys.
Yes.
Could I get a Coke?
Yes. Room temperature? Ice cold?
Ice cold. I want it from the fridge. The cold one. Thank you. She wanted to get me warm Coke. Okay. So I don't know how much, like, we have a much better agreement set up with Taiwan than we do with China, but I'm curious what this means. Like, this could really, I was seeing numbers that laptops could at least go up by 50%, depending on where the parts are sourced. Like, there's some pretty nasty, some pretty nasty prices coming in for all this. So clothing, food. I think food could get affected too, depending on where it's being imported. We don't grow our bananas in the States. Honestly, I don't know if we even want to per se, but yeah. Like I mentioned, toys, because a lot of toys are manufactured in China and Vietnam, are going up. This hasn't affected us yet, but it will be trickling down very soon. I'm just curious when, because Trump's been going in and out of tariffs for the past few weeks, and I have yet to see a change on most of the stuff that we have, which is kind of telling me that Trump is saying one thing and then just not putting tariffs in because I don't know. Part of the deal is to, I guess, lie about stuff and then not do it. Yeah. So here's what my recommendation is. Here's what I'm going to recommend. If you need a new computer and you were planning on buying one this year and you have the means to get one, get it now. Or you might be waiting a year or two for everything to recover. Because I honestly don't think tariffs are going to last on everything for very long, even though typically you use tariffs to decentivize markets from being outside of, like, manufacturing being outside the country. You want it to be domestic. And so you put a tariff on something that's getting imported in, and that's a tax on us. We end up paying that. People don't understand how tariffs work, which is kind of sad. And it's even sad that a lot of people that have explained how tariffs work that are in his administration have now said they don't work that way. Marco Rubio and stuff like that. I'm not trying to make this like fully political, but it has gotten me fairly upset. Because I'm going to be building my home lab this year, and it might end up being costing a lot more. So I'm going to be doing like a makeshift home lab. I got my Mac Studio, which I needed to do. It was really expensive, but I got it so I can get everything else done that I needed to. But now to get my home lab put together, I need to get a casing, and I need to get it, and I haven't decided exactly how. I might convert my other computer into it. I have a lot of different options and a lot of things here, so I don't have to spend much money. But like I mentioned, if you need something, especially electronics wise, I would probably get it now, as there is still a lot of surplus before it runs out. Andre, we just buy more local stuff now. Andre, that is not a bad way to do it too. It's just with electronics though, like with computers, you can't buy that local. Like Canada doesn't build their own. Now that being said, Canada, because you're in Canada, Andre, hopefully you're okay with me saying that. If you're in Canada, unless like I don't know how they're going to do shipments, unless if it touches America, then it's going to get passed on most likely to you. Unless I highly doubt there's going to be any leniency for Canadians. So I don't know how the shipping lanes work, or if they're going to have to do some like it will probably make things go up, like cost more in Canada, but somewhere like Mexico or other countries that are closer to China, or where Taiwan or wherever these get shipped to, could end up being the same price or maybe cheaper. Who knows? Maybe China's going to give them a better deal. So just as a heads up there, if you're thinking about it, you might want to buy something. Now, if you're buying other things, yeah, local's good. Like supporting your local communities is a really good thing. Domestic is good too. That being said, even stuff that you buy locally, Andre, you might not realize how like some of it is actually has parts that are imported in. And we've just had such a good trade system up to this point that people don't realize how much stuff gets pieced together to build that thing that was built domestically. Just how it works. Heck, we had a steel mill here in Utah that was at the Utah Lake that devastated Utah Lake. They're still trying to figure out how to completely clean the area of all the chemicals, because they would process the steel along with the water, and then flush the chemicals and stuff into the ground and into the water. And we're still trying to figure out how to like make it less toxic. Like it's people boat on it, so it's not like you're gonna melt. But once they started getting more and more, I think I don't think they went out of business per se, but they sold to China, and they literally packed up the facility, moved it to China. It's not here anymore. Especially, I think I wouldn't be surprised if it's when they're starting to get in trouble and have to take responsibility. We have a magnesium plant that does the same thing around here that contaminates the area and puts chemicals into the air that for processing the magnesium. It's great. Okay, this is not all about that. Let's see if I can live chat here. So I don't want to bore you guys much more. Oh my gosh, the Snark Tank guy, dude, he is an idiot. So whatever news you're listening to, if people are saying that like these tariffs aren't that big of a deal, just know that they're probably rich, and if even a 50% cut to their wealth they're still going to be making rent. They're going to be able to have a house and everything like that. It is going to affect us more common folk more. And that's another part of the double-edged sword. If you buy a lot of tech now, and if jobs get worse or pay gets worse or inflation happens, like stagflation is most likely going to happen this year, along with potentially a recession, you could get underwater, which also sucks. which is the gamble I took a little bit with getting the Mac Studio. But I can do a lot more work with it. And so, yeah, I'm excited to do some more videos with it too. Okay, guys. So with that, I don't actually have much, let's see, other news to go through. If you guys have anything, let me know. Shout it out. Fury. Oh, geez. I don't know if I want to go to that, but man, hopefully it doesn't have. I mean, that's already a pretty messed up little thing. Jeez. So, Fury over rape and incest, game that tells players to be women's worst nightmare as tech secretary slams PC giant. That is okay. You know, usually I'm for. I'm not gonna try to show anything. No Mercy is a 3D choice-driven adult visual novel with a huge focus on it. Okay. That is okay. There are like, it's on Steam too. We don't need to go much further in this. All I know is, as long as it doesn't break any laws, whatever. But I mean, incest is breaking law, but it's not. It's all fake. It's a video game. They have to take down other things if they're going to take down that. But, oof, a misogynist dream, wet dream for a game seems crazy. Okay. So, but yeah, the rape, the grape thing is not great. I really like, honestly, news wise, I don't think there's a whole lot more left to cover today. Do you guys have any questions? Anything you want to chat about? If not, we can always end this a little early. Did you look into the PS2 recompiler project? I have not. I will do that soon. Xbox Showcase 2025 and Outer Worlds 2 Direct announced. IGN. Oh, that's cool. When are those gonna? Also, if you guys did not hear, PlayStation is looking at I bet you they've been doing prototypes for years now, but they are wanting to do a new PlayStation like handheld that is not the Portal. Is what I don't know if I'd say rumors, but like the strong rumors are going around. Hold up. HBO's The Last of Us officially renewed for season 3 on Max. Are they splitting the second game up into 2 seasons, or are we getting new story? That's crazy. Okay, well, we have to watch something if we're gonna do that. Sony surveyed people for their reaction to Switch 2. That's true, they did. Let's look at that. Sony Switch 2 survey. Let's see. Sony sends survey asking PlayStation gamers about the Switch 2. What did this survey ended up saying? Let's see. Let's see what this thing says. As you may already know, Nintendo announced that the Nintendo Switch 2, the successor to the Nintendo Switch, is releasing on June 5th for $449.99 for money. Thanks, Andre, for stopping by. You keep it classy. Castcoder Last of Us Season 2 is half of Part 2. Okay, that's what I was kind of wondering. It's probably the whole part before a certain event occurs. And so if you haven't played the game or know about it, I'm not going to spoil it for you. How interested are you in purchasing the Nintendo Switch? That's an interesting one. I could see some PlayStation fans wanting this. When thinking about the Nintendo Direct, Nintendo Switch 2 announcement, in what way has your opinion changed, if all, about the following? What aspect of the Nintendo Switch 2 console, as announced on April 2nd, are you most interested in? That's interesting. that they're asking about that. This is actually really good. I'm shocked that these companies are doing more of these types of um, um, consumer. What is it? The word I'm thinking of, but like essentially consumer insights. This is a very good technique amongst business people. They don't do it enough. Is to get what people are interested in, especially in another product of theirs. So like this is a really good question right here, because then you get to see what people are most excited for and see how they should mirror it on their device that they're probably working on right now. Below is a list of potential reasons to buy the Nintendo Switch 2. Please select the top 1 to 3 motivating factors. Once again, to play upgraded and or new exclusive games, to stay engaged with gaming community for the new Mario Kart themed bundle. The new features and accessories are exciting. To upgrade my hardware in general, I always buy the newest consoles. I bet you that. The Mario Kart bundle. And those are probably the 2 top ones. I bet all the other ones are going to be mixed. What do you think about the Switch 2 pre-order approach? Priority registration will be given to registrants who have purchased a Nintendo Switch Online membership within a month of 12 months of paid membership and minimum of 50 total gameplay hours as of April 2nd. That's the part where I actually don't like this. Like Nintendo Switch Online membership with a minimum of 12 months. I don't like that. Honestly, I think having a minimum of like 10 hours alone and the account being over a year would be enough. I'm sure some scalpers could get a hold of some accounts and maybe even prepare some accounts to maybe circumvent some of this. But like, I think this is a little too strict personally. I actually think I might fall in because I think they had a really good deal for Nintendo Switch Online that I ended up paying for a year, like a really good deal, and I just didn't re-up it because honestly, it's not a great deal. Like, oh, you got to pay for this, then you got to pay for the membership to access ROM games, like emulated games, essentially. That's horrible. Cascader, oh my God, is Sony going to copy Nintendo and only give PS6 pre-orders to the highest PS Plus tier subscribers? Well, okay, they're not, these aren't active. So whoever purchased a Nintendo Switch Online membership with a minimum of 12 months of paid membership, so they need to have 12 months of paid membership. I don't know if it ever matters. If it's, they started a year ago from now and up to April 2nd, let's say April 2nd last year up to April 2nd this year, counts, right? So at the end of the day, there's actually quite a bit of people that would fall into this, but this will still eliminate, I think, a lot of people too. I don't like this. Cascoder, if PlayStation did like a PlayStation, if they did the same thing, I think people would be very pissed off. That being said, I have paid for enough PlayStation to get that, and also Xbox, because I on enough do these all differently, these subscription services. But Nintendo I've only done once, and I prepaid for a whole year because it was a really good deal, and I did not use that very much. So to say like I got for what I paid for it and what I was kind of doing with it, I probably did not get my money's worth. But whatever. So there you go. That's the survey that went out. Let's see here. PS2. Cascoder, well, that pre-order method is why I'm likely qualified to get Switch 2, and I think it was 2 years, not 1. Well, no, it's 1. It's 1. Like, this is a Nintendo Switch Online membership with a minimum of 12 months of paid membership. So 12 months of paid membership is a year. This is old. That's really old. Really old. I don't know the article. Oh, hey, what's this? Really old PS2 tool chain. Interesting. Um, I guess I'll just mention it. So, like Cascoder mentioned, PS2. So how? Um, yeah. So how? Like Sonic for Sega got a recompiler, right? In the sense of like they took the source code and was able to recompile it to work on PC instead of having to be, you know, emulated ROM, whatever. It is purely works on the PC as an installation, essentially, which is pretty cool, honestly, that they were able to do that. It's with a lot of asterisks because it doesn't work for every game. It works only for a few games. But to keep on going that route of like recompiling these games into installable and executable games on a PC is great for preservation and really eliminating an extra layer that needs to be in there. Now that being said, I don't want them to stop working on ROMs or emulators, that is, for these games, because they're kind of needed. I don't think everything is going to be. I don't think this recompiler is going to be compatible with everything eventually. It's probably only going to be compatible. People will only probably get it to work with the best of games. So, with that, let's go into a little bit of I'm going to ask you guys, and hopefully you guys are up for this. Let me lean back a little bit. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. What kind of content would you like to see from me the next few weeks, the next few months? I'm really tempted to go into some tariff stuff with Trump and some deep dives with some graphics. I want to explain things so that people understand that like policies and other things affect them. And it's nice to like the game industry is great, and we can, sometimes we want to avoid politics, but you can never fully avoid politics. Sometimes it's just going to come back to get you. And so got to be careful. And I think if enough of us make a big fuss about tariffs, they won't fully go in. And it's going to be one of those things where you won't hear about it. And if prices don't ever go up, it's because they chickened out to announce it, that they remove tariffs. Boisterous and all that, and saying, oh, hey, we're putting tariffs in. And then if prices don't go up, or if they go down a little bit, or whatever, if it's good, they'll be like, see, the tariffs worked. If it goes poorly and then they just like, well, we're going to backtrack but do it silently, then they'll do it silently. So I'm thinking about doing that. But yeah, Cascoder, Casmith for you, Icarus, like anything that you were curious about. Like I am going to be doing a video. It might not end up being on this channel, it might be on a different channel, on the Mac Studio and games and a lot of other things, and do some charts for that and just have some fun with that. I'm sorry guys, I don't mean to be a shill for Apple. It's just it just works, and it's nice to just have a small little box that does not overheat my room when using it. I'm sorry, the NVIDIA graphics card shit that is going on is so annoying. Not only is it hard to find new graphics cards, it is also they overheat the room I'm in. When I was in the basement, where it was very could disperse really easily and it was cooler in the basement, it wasn't too bad. But most of my offices are not going to be the basement, so I'm a little I'm a little frustrated with the PC route of things lately, and so I'm getting better performance than my 3090 computer, while at a quarter of the power usage. It's crazy. So I am definitely there. Cascoder, wasn't there a project to make a translation layer like Proton to run Windows apps on Mac? Yes, there is. Great that you could bring that up. I was actually playing a certain game today with it. It's called Crossover. It uses Proton, and there are some specific ones that you can get. Like the Cyberpunk one is it uses bottles actually. So you can see how it says bottles, and I've done some stuff on bottles on Linux, and I've done some videos that kind of mention it on Linux and Steam Deck. So it was a way to like get an environment up and running that's like inclusive of only that game and that environment. I have one for Steam though, so this one just installs Cyberpunk via Steam. Probably that I already have, hopefully, because I have a Steam bottles. You can see, oh hey, look at that. I've already played It Takes Two and installed it on there. Excuse me. But what Bottles does is essentially mimics an operating system. So it thinks I have an open, like I have a C drive. Let's see. You can mess around with like the metal and some like wine. You can see the different graphics layers that I can use. Metal is the Apple one. To a high resolution mode, simulator reboot. It has some. It's like a pseudo emulator or a pseudo. What is the word I'm looking for? VM, virtual machine. It's not quite the same though. It does Proton, so it's not a virtual machine. It's not like it's running the full operating system. It's emulating portions of what they would expect to see, and then a translation layer that's like Proton. That's for the graphical portion, especially. Wine, it says wine. Proton is based off of wine and kind of further improves it. But wine is also all being worked on too. So if you're curious on how that works and how SteamOS works. But yeah, I played It Takes Two with my son today. It was great. Worked pretty decent on this. I didn't have really any issues. If I bring up, let's see. We'll see, because I was going to say, I already have it. So right here, Baldur's Gate 3 is actually macOS native. Another thing is like they built such a massive game, such a big game. I don't think they're even that big of a studio. They did so much, and they included a Mac port of it, which is crazy. But there's more and more games supporting Mac, Control and all that. I still would put my money on probably SteamOS becoming more of the mainstream gaming operating system over the next decade. But I think anything that's improved through Proton and improved for SteamOS, Mac OS and Apple are going to take advantage of. So it's cool. I have a beefy enough Mac Studio, like a really beefy Mac Studio, that I could play most of these games fine. But if I truly want to play like something new and really want to up those graphics, I'm going to want to play it off my 3090, which I'm going to have set up in my server. I might even do IP, like you can do video over IP. I might try that. Over IP essentially is the over network. So I'd have an Ethernet cord. I'd have my Ethernet system hooked up, and it would stream it really fast over the Ethernet. I try to probably do like 10 gigabit, and so go from it has to encode it and take it to the TV, but I could play it on the TV. So some cool stuff. Cascoder, so can you run something like Monster Hunter Wilds right now on your Mac? I would have to install it, and here's the biggest downside to Macs. Storage is freaking expensive. I bought a pre-made one, meaning I didn't customize this because I didn't want to wait 2 weeks and have it end up being canceled because tariffs or something. They have two different versions. They have two different versions. I got the more expensive one. I'm not going to say how much because it makes me cry. But I got the M3 Ultra, and it has 60 GPU cores and 96 gigabytes of RAM. Now, that being said, I use right now, look at how much RAM I'm using right now. 72 gigs of the 96. It's using Then there's cache files. There's swap. I'm using zero swap yet, which is nice because once you get into the swap territory, things start to slow down a little bit. Now, that being said, I have a lot of shit open. I have a lot of stuff open. I have a portion of I have my game open. I have my revealed project open and running. I am streaming right now. Yeah. So me using 7, like, and if I was to launch a game, and that would probably bump it up to 80, but I'd still have room, which is nice. This is what I want. I am a multitasking idiot, however you want to say it. But yeah. Dickerus, what third-party titles are you interested on getting on the Switch 2? That's a good question. Let's so third-party. Let's go see the game lineup because there are a couple of games I'm actually interested in, and yeah, and as much as I want to boycott it, like Gardner, I want to make my kids happy because it's just a thing I like to do. I like to spoil them. I want to get Mario Kart for that and play it with them. So let's look at this. All 22 confirmed Nintendo Switch 2 launched games. Here's what's available on day 1. So Mario Kart World, albeit, let's not let it do the audio because they love frickin', I'll get copyright claimed, and it's just annoying because then I have to edit out the audio. So this is an open world, right? If this is an open world and I get to drive around 2 places, 2 tracks, and all that, that sounds cool. If it's just like the last Mario Kart with just a little bit better graphics or mechanics, I'm not as interested in that. But once again, this would be for my kids. I think my kids would love this. My son, 4-year-old son, has essentially beat Astrobot multiple times now. He'll wake up and he'll play Astrobot before he has to get ready for school and all that. He loves it. To be fair, this looks good. I expect some upscaling to happen and also some simple, textures on these characters, like simple skins. Like these skins don't look like they're overly complicated, but the world itself is a little bit more dynamic, which is nice. I am really curious. Okay, I mean, there's some trickery going on. As long as it feels different enough, I'll be excited for it. And it does look pretty interesting. Looks pretty different. I'm not the. I loved kart racers back in the day, and I've just played them so much that kind of burnt out. But I'm very interested in this, so I definitely say probably first and foremost, Mario Kart World. I wish Luigi's Mansion 3 was coming. That'd be a day 1 for me with upgraded graphics and everything. As I love it on the regular Switch, but I can play it on the regular Switch also, or potentially in here. But yeah, that's besides the point. Zelda Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. I honestly, I've probably put 10, 15 hours into The Legend of Zelda or Breath of the Wild, and I just really don't have a lot of desire right now to go back and play this. So I doubt, maybe for my kids, maybe, but they can play it on the Switch 1. Cyberpunk 2077. I'll be honest, a part of me wants to own this on the Switch 2. If I end up with a Switch 2, I don't know if I would get Cyberpunk 2077 right off the bat for the Switch 2, but let's just say I'd be very tempted. That being said, they are making an ultimate, or they're making a Mac version with the Ultimate Edition, that is. So Cyberpunk 2077, when it comes out in a couple of months for the Switch 2, I believe will also be coming to Mac around the same time. And I don't need to buy it because I have it on Steam, and usually when Mac ports come out, they are available on Steam also. So I could just download my Mac version and play it from the Mac just to see how it is. I can already play it with crossover, like I mentioned over here. That being said, another thing with the Mac that I plan on doing is I'm going to be making, so it has Thunderbolt 5. So I went with the 1 terabyte. It has Thunderbolt 5. I'm going to be building a new NAS box, but I'm also gonna be creating an NVMe. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this because I wanted this the most least expensive slash the most performant way possible because I want to be perform really well. Like if I had 4 terabytes in this thing, I'm probably gonna rip out my 2 terabyte NVMe drive because I have a 2 terabyte and a 1 terabyte in my main or my old computer. I'll probably rip out the 2 terabyte one. Find myself because it's fast enough to where I think it'd benefit from Thunderbolt 5. Get myself a Thunderbolt 5 NVMe enclosure, but I might do the extra mile and find one that has 2 or 3 slots, and do a 2 or 3 slot NVMe setup, and plug it into my and have it. I'm gonna mount my Mac Studio under my desk because it's like this big. It's super heavy though, but they have mounts. I'm gonna 3D print. I can 3D print a mount it under there, and I'll mount my drives under there too. So it doesn't matter. You won't be able to see it. You can't hear it. It is. I'm telling you guys, I spent way too much freaking time the past week researching this shit. Like I spent a lot of time researching all this. I have like 10 different 3D print files that I need to go and decide on which one I want to try. Cascoder, I just wish Microsoft would update Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled for faster loading on PS5 Series Switch 2 and make a PC port. I agree. Honestly, they should be making a new version of the Crash Team Racing, and they should also include with it the original. Like they should make a new one, like a 2, and then include the original. Because I think they really, if they put a lot of love into that, it could be their kart racer for the PlayStation 5 and so forth. But yeah, and 60 frames instead of 60. Okay, agreed with that, Cascoder. So yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is probably. I mean, I'm a fool, but if this is like under $60, then I'll probably buy it eventually for the Switch too. Deltarune also is one that looks kind of interesting, but depending on what the price is, which I think a lot of these true indie ones won't be that much. They'll be like $40, maybe. Split Fiction. If I don't end up buying this by the time Switch 2 comes out, and if I have a Switch 2 in my hands, and I don't buy this for the PlayStation 5 or the PC because I haven't bought it yet because I'm still trying to go through their other game, I might pick this up for the Switch 2. But we'll see, because it'd be a fun on the go game to play. But I am pretty committed to probably getting it for the PS5. Cascader, I built a NAS Plex box with a 3070, and I plan to also use it for hosting game servers like Palworld. Nice. That is I plan on hosting Palworld, or not Palworld, but like some game servers for Games Revealed soon. Soonish, probably towards the end of the year. Because I have a terabyte, and I might even upgrade my internet to the 2 terabyte option. And that's both ways, I believe. But then again, I might end up moving somewhere. So hopefully, wherever I end up moving to, it will have just as good internet. But I plan on either off of my old computer, or I might do a couple of Raspberry Pis and run servers off that, like smaller servers. Do some fun with that, or just a Mac Mini. I might throw a Mac Mini in there that will have either VMs partitioned out or something like that for multiple servers, and also for doing I might do a build. Use it for builds as a build server. I'm also planning on using the Windows machine that I have. Like I said, I'm going to piece it apart and put it into my home lab and have it be able to run builds for my games that I build, because I'm going to be doing a lot of game development on Apple. I can't I could probably build if I do like Parallels, but I'd prefer to do it on my 3090, so I might do that. Plex server wise, I would probably that 30 like a Plex server box with like a 3070 sounds like overkill, and you're gonna really eat up a lot of energy. A Mac Mini for you can get one right now, like an open box for $500. 16 gigabyte Yes, it only has 256 gigabytes. So that's 16 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of hard drive space. You can get for $500, but that thing is might be a little overkill for a NAS box, but you could probably do a NAS box, and I don't believe you're gonna like a 3070 for the NAS box is nice because of the transcoding and all that. But Mac, the M4 chip that Mac has also does a really good job with encoding. So you could probably do pretty good with the Mac, the M4 Mac Mini, and also do the Power World server off that. I think I could be wrong on that though. It's an interesting concept, and it's not like I'm trying to just. I'm just. There's also some other good NAS boxes that you could do that off of too. So Civ 7, I don't really have. I don't like these types of games. Even though it has a mouse mode with a Switch 2, I don't. I'd rather sit down on a computer or a laptop and play this game. I don't want to play it on a controller or controller light device. Final Fantasy 7 remake integrate like the Final Fantasy 7. I think I'm gonna wait until the last one, even though I have the first one of the remakes. They're supposed to be doing it's a 3-parter. It's broken up as it's one game broken up into 3 games. I'm gonna wait until like the ultimate box and probably buy that and play through the whole thing because I don't want to wait. Hogwarts Legacy is also one I haven't finished yet. I'd also be tempted into getting Hogwarts Legacy. Nabunaga Ambitions. That's interesting. Nabubaga's Ambition. Soul Calibur 2 could be interesting. Street Fighter 6 maybe. And looking at this lineup, it just really doesn't look. I don't know, man. Half of these are remakes. Honestly, the Wind Waker one does look pretty good though. So maybe the Wind Waker, but I like Wind Waker a lot. Re-looking at all these games, it doesn't give me a lot of hope actually. Sorry guys. Yeah. Mario Kart, like that's a first party title, but Mario Kart would be one. I believe I would be able to play Luigi's Mansion 3 on it. It wouldn't be upgraded graphics, but there's that. I like how the device has a bigger screen and bigger and better controllers. So that's a plus. This definitely like a huge bonus over the original Switch. I don't like how small the original Switch is, both screen and controller wise. So I'm pretty excited for that. It's almost an 8-inch screen. So yeah, I'd probably be buying it for a better experience of playing Switch games. That's it. Okay, guys. Yeah. So I am in the middle of setting up my new studio and my new workflow. I have a new system. And I've been doing fairly decent, like health wise. I'm a little tired right now, but I didn't sleep quite enough last night. But I should be able to get back into the flow of things. I'm working on my video game. I'm working on. I'm gonna probably. So I have a partner that I'm working with the game, and I'm hoping to have like a test build for the game by the end of the year for a cascader to give a tryout. See what he says, but that's a different game, or that it might be a different game. I'm going to be doing some game jams with the person I'm working with on games, so I might also have something like that on Itto. So I'll let you guys know if there's anything cool that you guys can. Casper, for you have something. What do you have? The Icarus for first party. The only announced title I'm interested in coming. Let's see. Comes out in the winter, aka the Hyrule game. I'm not as I mean, Cyberpunk 2077 is kind of cool. That's coming to Switch, but I already have it and I've already beat it, but I do want to play it again. You said it on Discord. What is this? Is this tracking? A developer got PlayStation VR2's eye tracking working on PC. Oh, sick. Software engineer managed to get PlayStation VR2's eye tracking working on PC, though they caution that it currently extremely work in progress and lacks calibration. The developer currently goes by the handle what the Hopper, and releases their software open source as Benio Solutions. Their first publicly released VR tools was Oculus Killer, 3 years ago, which makes Quest Link load directly into Steam VR, bypassing Oculus Dash. Nice. I like seeing that type of stuff. Okay, yeah, this is cool. I like this. Even if it is creepy. Oh, I thought I was following my mouse. I like this. I'm honestly, okay, so if you have not heard yet, my son loves Astrobot. He was watching something, and there was an ad. No, he was watching something on like YouTube Kids or something that popped up with Astrobot VR. I did not realize that Astrobot VR was a thing, and it was before Astrobot, before even PlayStation 5's demo of Astrobot. So I already have a PlayStation 4 VR set up, and he's been playing it. He's loved it. So, and like I was even playing like the Batman game on and stuff like that. It got me thinking, like, man, maybe I should get the PlayStation 2's VR, like, or the PlayStation 5 like PlayStation VR 2. I don't like their naming convention, but it's whatever. So I might do it, but there's so many, like, it might be years from now. Maybe I'll get it on discount. But this is cool. This is really good, cool news. Thank you. Let's see. Since I own a PSVR 2 myself, I'm kind of excited about that. Oh, nice, Cat Smith, for you. That's cool. I'm hoping. So I don't even know if have you played Half-Life Alyx on it? Because I think you don't need eye tracking for Half-Life Alyx. But would this mean that eventually you could do like PlayStation 5 emulated games with it? Cascador, VR2 does not play Astrobot VR though. VR2 does not play Astrobot VR though. Yes, it doesn't. I already have something that does. I'd get the PlayStation VR 2 because it's I've heard good things about it and it's just drastically better, and I could also have some fun with it. But then again, if Valve comes out with something before then I'm probably not going to do that anytime soon. It'll be whatever Valve comes out with. The Cat Smith, for you, I currently use mine with my desktop. Nice. Half-Life Alyx is one of the best games ever. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. I'm an idiot because I recognize I'm an idiot. I want a vision though, but I want it to actually do things. Because it's lightweight. I've looked at them at the Apple Store. I actually think should I be the one guy that's in. Honestly, I would do it. I don't care what people think. I'd do it. I'd use it in an airplane, to watch something. But I think this would be fun to have. I don't want to spend the money. I'm hoping that they continue making this and that this doesn't become like a dead tech, and that they like keep building it and they discount it. They're able to discount it from $3,500, which is around what I paid for my Mac Studio, which my Mac Studio is being used for a lot of things. It's really hard to get something like this. Now, if it was like $1,500, maybe that's about what I would pay for it, unless I like hit it rich or something. Casmus 3, it is a decent PSVR headset in my opinion. Oh, good to hear. Casmus 3, I don't think I'll play it myself. It's just not a game I'd like. Yeah, it's okay. I love the game though. Like it's by far the best game that you can play on. I think my son played Five Nights at Freddy's on my Steam Deck. What a silly boy. So yeah. Um, yeah, that's all I had today, guys. I need to get going because I need to set some stuff up and get it ready for work. I have a lot of projects. I'm gonna try really hard, guys, to get a video out and start and to like really reboot my getting videos out. I have a good flow. I have this all up. I'm gonna be buying DaVinci Resolve. They have some new AI tooling that's gonna be able to replace some of my other tooling. I am in a good place. So, knock on wood. I'll get some stuff out to you guys. With that, I really don't have anything else to say. Let's bring this back in full screen. As I continue to feel a little bit better and with the summer coming in, I will try to do some more streaming of games and have some fun times with it. Work has been a little bit more stressful the past few weeks or past few months, and it's going to be probably stressful for another week or two. But hopefully things will kind of resolve a little bit there, and then I'll have more time. So I'm hoping. Cascoder, I use DaVinci Resolve. We'll never go back to Premiere. I frickin' hate Adobe products at this point. I do not like their subscription model. I hate it. I feel like I'm obligated to pay for it, and it's so much. And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much, guys. Yeah. DaVinci Resolve is awesome too, but I plan on buying it. Casper 3, I honestly really love the PSVR 2 controllers. Ooh, I actually really like the controllers for the Valve Index. I really like my Valve Index. Casper 3, I'm also Canadian myself. Yes, Casper 3. So, yes, you and Andre. So yeah, I have some Canadian teammates or like coworkers that is on my team that are flying into Georgia this coming week. So that will be interesting to see how that happens because I wouldn't want to do that. That's political. We don't need to get into that right now. Yeah, good stuff. Like I mean, dude, guys, I am gonna be using the shit out of this thing, and because it has so much RAM and it's unified RAM, I can dedicate. I can't have the biggest AI model on this thing, but I could even run my AI pet on this thing that I'm gonna be working with. I'm gonna have a lot of fun projects, and I'm hoping that I can translate my fun projects over the next year or two over into videos. So, and I'm not gonna, I want to do really fun videos. So I'm going to just kind of not worry about certain things. So let me know what you guys think of the videos I make for the next few weeks. And let me know if that's what you like, because I'm going to make a couple of fancy ones and probably a couple of quick ones. Probably also going to leave more of my news stuff over to off the console. And I might repurpose this into maybe more of a project show or something like that. So it'll be fun. Casper 3, my desktop has 64 gigabytes of RAM. Nice. Casper 3, that is awesome. My Windows machine had 64 gigabytes of RAM too, which was really nice and actually was very useful. And I've hit the limit on that. So having 96 is a nice sweet spot where I'm sure I'll hit 96, but it's not going to be very often, and I can just close a couple of programs down, and it will just easily get back into a more manageable side of things. Like, I mean, look at this. Epic Games Launcher uses 4 gigs of RAM. That's freaking crazy. No wonder it's been slow. Canva, I have that open. I have a lot of stuff open, and I kind of like it that way. Some things I can close too. So, I mean, I have 2 or 3 web browsers open. I have a code editor open. I have a lot open. So it's really nice. I have a lot of cores. I can just do so much. I'm sorry, guys. I'm nerding out because I like my other, like my MacBook that I wasn't really supposed to be using for some stuff, did so well but it lacked the RAM capacity. It had 32 gigabytes, and I did hit against that a few times where my Windows didn't, but my Windows like just doesn't process certain things very well. It's really annoying. So I'll stop complaining about all that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep an eye out in Discord. Let's play some games this weekend, maybe as a server, and let's have some fun, guys. I'll see you guys hopefully next week. If not, the following week. Next week might just be pre-record. So thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys next time. Peace out. Later. Cass Smith for you. Cass Coder. Wolf the Icarus. Andre, I know is not here, but yeah, love seeing you. BT Maverick, thank you all for showing up and supporting me. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Later.